Hey yo, how's it going, guys? It's SixftHax here. Have for y'all today the team builder for week number 5 of the APA. Now, if you guys may have missed my previous upload from yesterday, which was a analysis of our second draft, which is why we don't have the same team that we had in the first 4 weeks. We are now in the second draft phase. So for weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8, we'll be using this draft that you see on your screen, which I know this is not like the best draft ever, but I had it. Just hopefully we can win with it, and we can get out of this slump. If you guys do enjoy the video, hit that thumbs up button down below. You guys have been really enjoying the team builders from what I've been seeing. A lot of you guys have been watching them and leaving so many likes, so thank you guys so much. I'm going to try and do these again individually. So yeah, unfortunately we are currently in a slump. We are 1-4, so hopefully we can bounce back. We are facing JustKurt, the coach of the Portage Herdiers, I believe is how you pronounce it. So check them out. Channel link and stuff will be down below. So let's take a look at the matchup. So of course my opponent has Metagross, and that is easily the biggest threat, honestly, to my team. However, though, we do have 2 super fast flying types, but I'm still concerned that maybe like a really bulky bulk up Metagross set could be what he wants to bring. I fully expect Metagross just because regardless of me having 2 flying types, like it's still Metagross. It's absolutely amazing. As for what he may not want to bring, I honestly don't know. The one Pokemon I think for a fact will not come to this game is Gourgeist, and you're gonna see that kind of play a role here on the team, but I really don't expect Gourgeist to come to this game. Like, I have so much on my team that just absolutely destroys it, so I'm honestly not that concerned about it. Excelgor has maybe some merit to come. It is faster than my entire squad, but besides that, it's not really threatening to me, I think. Piloswine could come just for rocks, but I think Druddigon has a better matchup than Piloswine, and then I think he's going to have spikes on Skarmory. Speaking of Skarmory, I don't have an electric type, and I can't even bring my fire type to this game, so yeah, Skarmory is going to be really annoying. Clefable does Clefable things, so I need to figure out what set it's running. Alomomola, I'm pretty sure is going to be Assault Vested, or it's going to be the Recycle Berry set. I don't think something like Curse Muck has a lot of merit in this game, so I don't expect that to come. Actually 2 mons that I'm very scared of are Calm Mind, Z Extrasensory Raikou, and Dragon Dance Gyarados. Those 2 mons are absolutely terrifying if they set up, so I need to be very careful with those. And then finally, Darmanitan. I really don't know if it brings Darmanitan. Like, I have Alomomola. Yeah, if I don't have Alomomola, Darmanitan does kind of go in, but at the same time, if he's going to expect me to bring Alomomola, is he really going to want to bring Darmanitan? So yeah, I'm not sure if Darmanitan comes or not, but regardless, my Alomomola is coming, so little spoilers there. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at our first team member here. So our first team member is going to be Noivern. Funny enough, Noivern was actually the very last team member I put on this team. Not the very first team member, but this is the way I have it ordered on Showdown. Regardless though, Noivern I think was ultimately added because the main niche of Noivern, outside of something like Hawlucha, Weavile, or Blaziken, is that I don't have Infiltrator, no. This is supposed to be Frisk, because I don't expect sub-Gallade. But the main reason why Noivern is so good in this match is because of its speed tier being so valuable to me. I outspeed everything but the Excelgor, which I don't expect Excelgor mostly. Like, I don't really think it has that good of a matchup. Even if it does come, that's fine. It's probably only coming because of the fact that, hey, it outspeeds everything that I have that's super fast. So besides that, I'm not worried about it whatsoever, honestly. So a offensive Noivern set here just made so much sense in my opinion. I was debating on whether or not I wanted Rooster, Drake, or Meteor. Ultimately, I think Roost is probably going to be a little bit better because if I can burn things like Druddigon, Muck, and Skarmory, then I can roost on them. I can even roost on the Gourgeist. Honestly, again, like, I don't expect Gourgeist, but I can roost on it, which is really nice. So roost could ultimately be very handy, especially because with Defog, this is my hazard control, which means if he brings Skarmory to spike stack me, that could be a little bit bad. And then Hurricane and Flamethrower basically hit everything for neutral or super effective damage. Z Hurricane actually just nukes everything, dude. It's crazy. how much this does. Everything I don't hit with Z Hurricane, I hit with Flamethrower anyways. So I'm hoping Noivern here puts in a lot of work. Again, we do outspeed everything except for the Selgor and something that he could potentially have scarfed otherwise. So hoping Noivern does put in a little bit of work here in its APA debut. Moving on to our next team member here is going to be Choice Scarfed Tauros. This was actually probably the first mon I think I thought of when I saw this matchup. Like, Scarf Tauros honestly has such an amazing matchup in this game because his best Scarfer is legitimately Darmanitan, which means I can run enough speed to outspeed Darmanitan while still being able to have a bit of bulk in my Tauros, which would be amazing if I needed to take a hit in order for me to potentially revenge kill something. But Scarf Tauros is able to outspeed the entirety of his team unless for some reason he has Choice Scarf Raikou or Choice Scarf Excelgor. So besides those two, everything is outsped. And once Skarmory is gone, again, I don't expect Gourgeist, but once Skarmory is gone, this comes in and I just kind of click Body Slam for free. So that's absolutely amazing. Fire Blast is only there for Skarmory. Depending on the Skarmory spread, I should be able to 3-hit KO it with Fire Blast. So I think that's pretty worth it, honestly. And I most definitely expected more physically defensive Skarmory because it covers Weavile, Hawlucha, Metagross, Tauros as well. And it can still deal with my Shaman even without too many special defense investments. So yeah, all 4 moves here basically hit everything. Iron Tail straight to KOs Clefable, which is amazing. Fire Blast is for Skarmory, and I guess Gourgeist on the off chance. Body Slam is there to be spammed once Skarmory is gone, and then Wild Charge absolutely murders Gyarados because even at +1 I outspeed him and then I still just straight OHKO, so that's amazing. Next off, we have Metagross here. Metagross is actually the one Pokemon I'm most excited to use because I've never got to use this. I've seen it put in a lot of work. It's put in work against me as well. So the great thing about the set is that with me being so bulky, I'm basically guaranteed to live any one super effective hit so long as it's not a Flare Blitz from Darmanitan. Which means once I take that +1 super effective hits, I then get my weakness policy and something gets absolutely murdered by +2 Earthquake, Meteor Mash, or Thunder Punch. As for our final move here, Bullet Punch, there was a lot of things that I was debating on whether I wanted on my last move. It was either going to be Bullet Punch, Explosion. I was maybe going to go Stealth Rocks on this instead of what I originally had Rocks on. Rock Polish also came to mind, but I figured that this set probably isn't going to actually end up sweeping. If anything, I can use it to break through 2 Pokemon. Hopefully I can break through the Pokemon that activates my weakness policy, and then whatever else comes in is still going to be taking a huge chunk of damage from a +2 Bullet Punch. For example, a +2 Bullet Punch still does like 35% to Darmanitan, which is insane because that's resisted and I'm not even running max attack. So yeah, so if Darmanitan is low enough and this gets the weakness policy off, this could actually very well sweep, which would be pretty awesome. But yeah, just a super fat Metagross. We can live any special hit, we can live any physical hit outside of Flare Blitz from Darmanitan, get our weakness policy, and just punch a hole and take down hopefully 1/3 of our opponent's team. So moving on to the next team member here, we have a really dope set made by my boy Kelly Under the Radar. Shouts out to the front office homies as always. Now this quote unquote is our win condition, because the way this Porygon-Z set works is that, again, I'm very positive he's not gonna bring Gourgeist. Like, I was actually really close to taking Agility off for Ice Beam, but I honestly don't expect Gourgeist. The only reason I would expect them at this point to bring Gourgeist is out of paranoia, just because, again, Gourgeist has such a terrible matchup in this game. So the great thing about this Porygon-Z set is that with it being so bulky, I can set up on things like Skarmory, Clefable, Druddigon, Muck, even Gourgeist and Piloswine potentially because of this bulk. So I can nasty plot on all of his fat mons and power through them, and then late game if I need to, I can go for an agility when I haven't revealed it to him, and then that may catch him off guard, and that in itself might win me the battle. So I really really hope this Porygon-Z set puts in a lot of work, because I can Nasty Plot on Skarmory if it's not Whirlwind, if it's not Toxic. After a Nasty Plot, Tri-Attack does some ridiculous damage, and if I am going to be spamming Tri-Attack, there's a 20% chance that I'm going to Paralyze, Burn, or Freeze. So the more I click Tri-Attack, the higher odds of me freezing, burning, or paralyzing something. So those are odds I will gladly take. But yeah, this set is disgustingly bulky. Again, this can just about live any one hit, much like Metagross, except this time around it can't live a hit from Mega Gallade. It can even take a Choice Banded Jolly, not Choice Banded, sorry, a Choice Scarf Jolly Flare Blitz from Darmanitan, which is insane. So if worse comes to worse, we can live a Flare Blitz and then I guess knock it out with Tri-Attack or Agility and Sweep, because at +2 we do outspeed Choice Scarf Jolly Darmanitan. So moving on to our next team member here, we have NiaJax, aka Nidoqueen, rocking a nice mostly Spadef bulky set. The main reason I have this much Spadef is because this is enough to allow me to guarantee live a +1 Z extra sensory from Raikou, always after Rocks and Payapa Berry, as well as potentially taking an extra sensory into another extra sensory if he was like Life Orb, if I'm not mistaken. I do not expect, 100% do not expect a choiced Raikou, but even if he were to bring it, this Nidoqueen can definitely take it on. The main reason why we have Earthquake and Poison Jab is because Earthquake hits Raikou, and it hits Muck, which I expect Muck to be more Spadef bulky and again not cursed. And then Poison Jab does an insane amount of damage to Clefable, because if it was Calm Mind Clefable, late game it could prove to be a bit of an issue. So I need to be careful with that Clefable and find out exactly what kind of set it is running, because otherwise it could get out of hand and it could very well beat me. So yeah, I need to be super careful with that. But moving on to our final team member, that is going to be Alomomola. So Alomomola kind of has a bit of a fishy situation here, no pun intended, in the battle, because it wants to run more than 4 moves, and I really wish I could run more than 4 moves, but we don't have that luxury. So we have Wish, Protect. Honestly, I was almost close to taking off Protect on this set. Like, I figured maybe Wish and Regenerator alone would have been enough, but I think having Protect is just kind of nice to be a safety net for us. So this set is mostly physically defensive, because if you look at his draft, he mostly has physically offensive mons, and again, I don't expect Excelgor. Obviously, I'm not going to use this to deal with Raikou, so yeah, I don't expect Excelgor, but I do expect Raikou. So besides those two, everything else basically hits on the physically offensive side. Yeah, I guess Clefable hits on my special side, but if it's not Calm Mind or something crazy like Life Orb, which I don't expect, then I don't expect either Life Orb or Calm Mind. Maybe just like a fat supportive set in general. But yeah, I can take hits from everything, basically. And then Wish, because of Alomomola's massive, disgusting HP, this can basically bring anything else back up on my team to full HP after a Wish, which is disgusting, because that's being brought back up to full HP, and then Alomomola is switching out, gaining back 1/3 of its HP every single time. Rocky Helmet over Leftovers, because this is nice to punish his abundance of physically offensive mons. And then Scald for burns, Hidden Power Electric, so Gyarados does not use me as setup fodder. Something like Sub Gallade would be a little bit scary, but because we do have Noivern, which I can easily bring Infiltrator on, I don't expect Sub Noivern, so that's why I'm actually not even bringing Infiltrator. I'm actually going to bring Frisk, but this way, when I face my next opponent, if they think they can sub, that's when I'll surprise them and have Infiltrator on Noivern. So yeah, hopefully that'll come in handy. But this is our squad for week number 5, guys. Hopefully this will be good enough, and we can maybe try and turn around our luck for these next 4 weeks. But with that being said, hit that thumbs up button down below. Let me know what you would have brought to this battle if you were us building for my opponent. And I will see you all tomorrow on Saturday with the battle. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.